George Braddock, Part 3, Reimagining the Community Day Program.
So here we go. Community centers. So you go out there and you find that there's been a lot of money spent in making special stuff for people with disabilities. I mean, we are really a blessed movement because people have developmental disabilities not because they misbehaved, right? Not because they used drugs, right? They have developmental disabilities because that's what happened, because it's part of the possibility. So it's not their fault. And because it's not their fault, they tend to get a lot of money. And they tend to be treated, relatively speaking, to other kinds of services very generously endowed. And they make lots of little special places for them. So they make workshops, sheltered workshops. They make buildings that are alternatives to employment. So they create these structures out there so the person has a home and then they have a day program. They go somewhere else and color pictures, right? And they have all this fabric. And you go to the places where these community centers are and you talk to the neighbors and people don't even know what goes on over there. A bunch of buses arrive in the morning, they're there till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the buses go away at the end, and the building just sits there. What's going on in there? Well, what if you start turning that on the head? Because we feel like, you know what, the community's locking us out. They're not embracing us. They're not inviting us to join the Lions Club, right? But we're doing the same thing. You know, we're hiding out in the sheltered workshops. We're hiding out in our own little private facilities in the community. Well, what if you knock open the doors? And what if you do things like invite people who walk their dogs to come by? And so you actually set up a place where there's like dishes out there and people's dogs can get a drink there. And there's a place where they can, relieve themselves. And actually dogs are welcome here. People and dogs, they start kind of coming around. And what if you open it up and you say, well, there's a neighborhood here, one of the neighborhood association, why don't you meet in our building? It's empty at night. And then you find out that there's a guy across the street that has an empty lot. And you say, well, could we do a garden here? Could we do a community garden here? Somebody comes in and puts in a few chickens. So you know what you start to do is you start to think about how can I bring the community into the center and actually make it a true community center. And that's what we did here with this project with Edward Center. So what did we do? We partnered with Meals on Wheels. So we had a lunchtime program to feed seniors. We hooked up with a local choral group and sponsored a choir out of the facility. We all kinds of different strategies for connecting the community to what we were doing. So when you went there originally, here's all these people with developmental disabilities sitting around like playing with their spit. And we can't do better than this. Now all of a sudden you go there and there's a little coffee shop, there's a school nearby. We could teach a yoga class there, so moms drop off their kids at the school and come over and have a yoga class. And what does that do? That creates the possibility of a relationship occurring. It creates the possibility of a friendship developing. It changes the conversation. And it opens up the door. Well, what is going on in here anyway? What is going on here anyway? The Dahlia Society starts meeting there, exchanging dahlias. We open the facility up in the evening because now we have a commercial kitchen and we're renting it out to other social service agencies that have gatherings for their year-end work parties and so forth. Don't have facilities. So we're renting it out. So this place is on the move all the time. All the time. And people with disabilities, they got jobs there. They're docents, they're meeting people, they're showing people around, So it's like, that's, to me, if you're gonna shift that conversation, you have got to open the door on both sides. You have got to reach out more. And you've got to break down the stereotypes. You've got to break them down. So there it is now. And I'm not kidding you, when we started this project, it was full of people, in rooms coloring, and they were like bored. They were just like bored. Day wasting programs. Now there's a little beauty salon there. People can come get their hair done. There's a place that we do nail clinic, helping seniors cut their toenails. So it's like, reach out. What do the people around you need? And how can you be part of that solution? But this part of the thing here is that this actually became an economic driver to other things, because this facility made money. And I'm gonna tell you, we bled this facility to nothing to do this remodel in this project. It was huge. It was the biggest commitment. They've been providing services to people with disabilities for 45 years. They'd never done anything like this. They were scared to death.
Where is Edwards Center?
In Aloha, Oregon. And it's just like it turned out to be way better than anybody ever thought. And will that always happen? Maybe not. But I've now been able to see that the creation of the community center and tearing down our own walls really create opportunity and possibility that we don't think about. We always think about getting it. Well, what about giving it back? We can't give back. We are valuable. People who rent apartments that have disabilities never miss a rent payment. They live in that apartment for 19 years and they never miss a payment. So from a landlord's position, okay, unless you're busting holes in my wall and causing me all kinds of grief and making the neighbors mad, come on in. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? This is a classroom, college level classroom, with a whiteboard. Rents out to the local Audubon Society once a month. This thing is rented, in use, in use, in use.